Alright, next video, how to write the equation of a line when given a point and a line that's perpendicular to it. So here's our point, x comma y, right? We want to write the equation of a line that's in this slope-intercept form where m is of course our slope and b is our y-intercept. Right now our slope is 2/3. In other words, this slope right here that's given to us is 2/3. The slope that we're looking for is perpendicular, and we use that notation, upside down, capital T. The perpendicular slope is, well, first of all, let's talk about what perpendicular means. Let's back up there. Perpendicular lines intersect at 90 degrees. Now, these lines aren't, super straight, but that's okay. The intersection between them is 90 degrees. So if this slope is 2/3, this one has to be something that creates a perfect 90-degree angle there at all four corners. And the rule is you just flip it over and change its sign. So the perpendicular slope is -3/2. If the given slope is 2/3, the new perpendicular slope is -3/2. So we flipped it over first, and now we want to figure out our y-intercept. And our y-intercept is basically going to come from using this point. Now you can use the point slope formula at this stage, but I'm not going to. I tend to just keep it simple and use the y equals mx plus b every time. But the point slope formula, if those of you that are interested, looks like this, where you'd go y minus -1 is equal to our slope times the quantity of x minus 2, and you'd solve from there. But we have big 2 times -3/2, the 2's cancel, we get -3 plus b. Add 3 to both sides and you get 2 is equal to b. So the equation that we have is our new slope plus our new y-intercept. Now my claim is that these two lines are perpendicular and that the one in yellow holds this point. So we can check it manually. We can literally just plug this in. -1 should equal -3/2 times 2 plus 2. It turns out that it does. But let's use our graphing calculators to our advantage as well. So I'm going to go to my calculator and I'm going to I'm going to enter in my original in y sub 1, so -2 or positive 2/3 x minus 2, and my new function in y sub 2, -3/2x plus 2. I've got one of them graphing as a bold line and one of them as a regular line. I'm going to get my zoom to be, let's start as a zoom 6. And then for parallel or for perpendicular lines, I always want to zoom 5. If you click on your zoom and you go down the zoom square, that one usually gives you a nice square window. Gives you a better look at perpendicular. You can see that these two lines look a little bit more perpendicular than, it might not be perfect still visually, but they're better than zoom 6. And we just want to check to make sure that the point 2, -1 is actually on our yellow line. So remember, our yellow line was the second one. So I'm going to go to second graph, gives me my table, and that point again was 2, -1. So you can see 2, -1. If we scroll down here, we can see that when x is 2, our original gives us -2/3, but our new one gives us -1, which is what we wanted. We wanted it to be 2, -1. So x is 2, y is -1. All right, you can go back to your graph and you can kind of trace on that thing. When I initially press trace, it puts my cursor on the first one. If you press up, you go to the second one. And if we go to +2, we can see it's not going to jump perfectly to +2, -1, but it'll come pretty close. Or you can go to your calculate menu, which is second trace, press value, and press 2. All right, that'll give me the first one. And if I get rid of that, go back to this thing. I press second trace value. When x is 2, y is -1. So I confirmed it a bunch of different ways there. Alright, that was number 1. I wrote a line that's perpendicular to this one, and it goes through this point. Number 2. Through this one, through this point, and it's perpendicular to 1/7 x plus 3. So my given slope is 1/7. My new perpendicular slope, my 90-degree slope, if you will, is flip it over and change its sign. So -7/1 or just -7. So y is equal to mx plus b. Plug in your y, plug in your x, and I'm getting those from up here. Solve it, so 3 is equal to 7 plus b, b is equal to -4. Y is equal to, this is the new equation, so we're going to use our new slope, -7x minus 4. Use this right here. And I'm not going to go through the same stuff, but you can graph that to see if it kind of fits together. I might just check to make sure that this looks like it actually fits in there. 3 is equal to -7 times -1 minus 4. And just confirm, 3 is equal to 7 minus 4. Yeah, 3 is equal to 3. That fits. And I know they're perpendicular because this slope and this slope are negative reciprocals of each other. And again, when you graph those, just make sure that, I think it helps to be in Zoom 5. So there you go, 2 examples on how to write the equation of a line when given a point and a line that is perpendicular to it. So I hope that helped, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.